Welcome back to the 5th session of Art as Therapy. I'm Yoko. Today, we'll be learning about the relationship between art and change and how art can be an agent of change. In the context of art, the meaning of change has been discussed widely in these two aspects. Firstly, art for social change. Art, together with literature, music, sculpture, and others are considered as invaluable historical records that tell us what other facts or science-based information cannot. For example, art explores our humanity, culture, and even our existence. A piece of artwork can influence or heal our society by making powerful statements about values, knowledge, and reflects experiences or truths that are perceived across different time and space. Art enables people from different cultures and times to communicate with each other. It can also give voice to people who are underprivileged or marginalized. Artists can make art to inspire others who encounter similar experiences and emotions and rally for change. Art also gives us opportunities to question, reflect, and have critical evaluation of the way we see our world and helps us to take actions to make a better world. Secondly, art for personal transformation. Many research has shown that art can affect an individual's sense of self. In neuroscience research, it has been shown that art making has positive effects on our brain development and well-being. It improves our cognitive abilities, memory, and interpersonal skills. It can even change a person's outlook. Researchers and practitioners tell us that the creative process can help people who are going through a medical or life crisis to experience major changes in how they view themselves and their identity in the world. Some scientists and medical doctors also appreciate that creative process can improve a patient's blood flow, moods, and vitality. Firstly, art harnesses the power of creativity. Art making is a creative process that allows us to express ourselves in the most authentic way. Life has many ups and downs. It is not always smooth. Staying true to ourselves is very important as it allows us to find our center and to remain balanced mentally and emotionally. The creative process of making art gives us a sacred space and time to find our true self, restore the balance in life, and grow in our own way. Secondly, art supports a nurturing and conducive environment that is open and flexible. Once in a while, we like to change our working environment, right? For example, our own desk or furniture. Why do we do so? It is because we see a possibility to live or work in another way than the existing one. It inspires us to create. For example, where the direction of the light comes from, the view I see when I'm painting, all these have their effects on me. In the creative process, we have a sense of what we need and become more open and flexible in making changes to suit our needs. Thirdly, in all kinds of art-making activities, change is an essential and inseparable process because the raw material or media is either physically transformed or embodied in a new narrative to manifest into a new form of expression or meaning. In the process, the art maker is always making changes, covering up, layering, erasing, redoing, and so on. As the artistic expression develops progressively, it also corresponds to the changes in a person's life. For example, we may find our choice of colors or brushstrokes change over time, which may reflect the changes in our interest, mentality, personal or social life. The famous painter Pablo Picasso had a blue period and a red period. So these changes in the material form, in the color, the texture, and the art-making process demonstrate a mixture of reality and imagination. It allows us to see the changes taking place and inspires the effects of change itself. Fourthly, Making or viewing art offers a novel experience when we are looking at an artwork that is new to us. Just like the moment a baby arrives in the world, we feel awe and wonder. The profound feeling or experiencing awe helps our brain to create new neural pathways and stimulate a state of inspiration. It gives us a sense of wonderment, hope, and a feeling of enrichment. Hence, these novel experiences have a positive effect on the physical body and mental state. Lastly, art can give us the feeling of being in power and control. The philosopher Aristotle said that we make art not only to capture what we see, but that we also have the power to make it more remarkable by removing the imperfections of what we see, or imitate the possible actions to respond to life's adversities and tragedies. In art, the art maker becomes a decision maker. We take control of how we visualize or bear our own experiences. Therefore, art making can act as a treatment for our unbearable experiences and empower us with an increased sense of belonging and responsibility. An author book is a form of artwork that changes a book from its original form into a different form, altering its external appearance, contents, and/or meanings. So the original book can be a new, old, or recycled book. The new authored book can use a single or multiple books together. In the process of alteration, we can do layering, painting, drawing, writing, cutting, pasting, burning, folding, tearing, collaging, stamping, screwing, drilling, sewing, and so on. After you author a book, it gives you a completely novel idea and story about what's going on in your mind, and also these are very personal and unique stories about yourself. The material of the book is also transformed. You have the total control and power how you would like to change this book. There are a few approaches and techniques to create an authored book. First, you can create a new narrative of the original story. For instance, this book, previously the story was about play and some playgrounds. I have digested the ideas of the original story, and I have used my own way to narrate what is about play and playground. I have covered the original book title and put in a thread of beats that has sound and different textures, colors. Another approach is to continue the original story. For instance, this book, I have used some felt material and cut out some geometries to paste it on the book cover, the inside, and also created an ending for this story. As I said, ending, it is always also a beginning. Another way to create an author book is a completely new or unrelated story or design, but you are inspired by the existing images, visuals, or the book design. So for instance, I was inspired by the images and text of the original book. So I have torn some of the pages of the book, repasted them on the cover. I was inspired by some of the words which related to the concept of light. I created this book, and then I have inserted a battery with fairy lights inside this bottle. I pasted them all together and glued all the pages together, and I created a new book of lights. The last approach that I would like to share with you is basically to make a completely new artistic work using the material of the book. For instance, this example, I like the width of this book, the volume, the weight. So I have used this and pasted some of the fabrics that I got it from my home collection. I have designed them and composed them into like an artistic work. Itself is like a piece of painting. Today, I'm going to share with you some techniques of authoring a book. There are many ways to author a book. So do use your own imagination and creativity to do it your way. The first technique I'm going to share with you, some people call it blackout poem. I have this very old storybook with me. When you've gotten your book, you can take a look at the book. Are there any inspirations for you? So how do we do it? It is basically to use the words here in the book. You can take out a black marker. So we are just looking out for any words that appeal to you, that speak to you. For those words that don't speak to you, you can just use the black marker to black out. So you go through very intuitively, leaving out some words that speak to you. And now we can create a new image. And during the process, you can also change those words that you have left out to suit the image that is emerging. I have created a new page, this book. All the words that have spoken to me are giants golden, own gold, very well, baby. I may not know what the meanings of this page, but I think I'll leave this page for another time and then I'll come back and look at it. What is the meaning of this? I have finished one page and transformed the narrative of this page. The second technique I'm going to share with you today is by folding. We know that paper is used for many folding activities like origami that are used to fold some paper crafts. So today I'm going to use the paper in this book to do an alteration by folding. So first of all, there's a book cover, and also sometimes you can look at the book, you can take away the elements. I think that this book cover I will just take away. Now I have a completely new book cover. And for this activity, I think a thicker book would help to show the effect of the folding more. So basically, I'm going to fold these pages. Because this book was about architecture, so my intention was to create maybe a three-dimensional, more sculptural book. If you feel like you want to use some measurements for this activity, you can also use a ruler. So first of all, on each page, I fold it to create a triangle, and then I fold another triangle about 1/3. I'm going to do the same folding for a number of pages so that I can see the effect. So the next page, I'll do the folding to the opposite corner, and then I'll have this triangle, and then so I'll use this as the marking, and then I'll create the second one. So for the next one, I will also fold it into a triangle. And then I'll use the second page as a marking for this line, and then I'll fold. As you can see, the thickness of the paper is folded paper will be, slightly adjusted. Okay. Then for the fourth page, I'll use the third page as a marking, and then I will fold this up. I have folded all the pages according to the method and repeated it for every page of this book. It is a new experience for me, and I guess it is also a new experience for the book. The last technique I'm going to share with you is to change the book cover. First of all, I'll flip through this book and I will go and look for some creative or interesting elements that inspire me. After looking through this book, I think I know what I would like to take out and paste it onto the cover. I have cut out some images that they inspired me from the stories inside. I will put them aside, and I'm going to rearrange them and create a new book cover. So I'll take some glue, apply the glue on the book cover. I'm going to cut out some text as well. What I'm doing is really quite intuitive and going with the flow. So I have finished this new cover. It is created by some of the texts and images that inspired me. So now I have a chance to relook at this new cover. Reading these lines and recomposed images is like reading a new book. You can be creative and try different ways to make your own altered book. We have come to the end of today's session. To summarize, we have explored some concepts of change, how art performs as an agent of change, and learned about an artistic method using authored book techniques to create our own three-dimensional changing theaters. I hope you have enjoyed the session. See you next time.